Hey, welcome to Bears Banner. Hey, what's up, Plank? Man, quick drama draw. Hey, tonight on the broadcast, you have Guy Moore, Keith Floyd Noy, also known as Blake, and Jason Braza sitting there with us. As tradition, if we don't get Jason in any time of the year, we're gonna get him in twice a year for the Packer game. And I appreciate Jason always showing up for the Packers game. I know we was trying to get him a few weeks ago, but I think that was the game we ended up not having the post game show. It was a real late game that night. But hey, how y'all doing?
Good, man. Good.
Okay.
You know what? Since we haven't had Jason on for a little while, I'd like to know what his opinion is of what he sees now. Now that he's got Montez Sweat here, what do you see? What difference do you see? A marketably bigger difference that you see now in this team that you saw about 6-7 games ago?
I mean, Montez Sweat, like I said, like we've talked about in the past, and you guys have mentioned. I mean, he's been a huge difference maker for the defense. Those guys are playing a lot freer, a lot. I guess you could say. I mean, they can make the play. You know, there's some because he's got to be accounted for by probably more so than anything before, and you know, and so it's looking a lot closer to, you know, Lovey's cover 2. Tampa 2 defense, but the linebackers playing a lot more free. They don't have to be trying to cover up the line and cover up any deficiencies that the line may have had. The secondary has been playing a lot more open, a lot more opportunities to make plays. And you know, look at the amount of interceptions they've had since he got here. I mean, the defense is probably what, you know, Eberflus, I can only imagine, has been begging for since he got here. You know, I need this play. I need this position to make this work. And we're seeing a lot more. It's been a hell of a lot more fun watching this defense than it was at the beginning of the season and all of last year.
Yeah, great point. Hey, let's bring up. We had 2 guys that made the Pro Bowl. Let's bring up Montez Sweat first.
All right. Sweat.
And those are some very impressive numbers. The 36 solo tackles, 12.5 sacks, 18 assists. They have on here, was that 4 pressures?
Pass defense.
Pass defense. I'm sorry, pass defense. Yep.
3 forced fumbles.
3 forced fumbles. Man. That's a Montez effect.
Is he still leading sacks on Washington?
Yes, because they do it with them that go Chase Young. Nobody gets near the quarterback.
Right.
You know, this is interesting because after this deal was made, there was even some fans that was angry about it because they were so focused on at that point getting rid of Flus that some people was like, I don't even understand what they're doing. At least we should have got Chase Young. And then some people was like, he don't even want to sign here as far as Montez Sweat. But we saw that was false, right?
But we all watch a lot of football. And when he came here, we was like, yeah. And now you see, I mean, the dude is violent, man. He is just like violent. I love it. But then you hear him in interviews, it sound like a teacher, a professor. It's great. Bipolar.
Yeah, to Jason's point, playing football. You know, one of the things they were asking Eberflus, you know, at the beginning of the year is, what does this defense need? And he kept saying, we need a 3 technique. We need a really good 3 technique to make a difference. And basically, that's the engine that powers this defense. And, you know, for the most part, everybody was like, yeah, whatever. But it's amazing that as soon as he got that 3 technique, it elevated the entire team. And then another thing, Jalen Johnson, this just gives you an idea of sometimes when people give you advice, you need to be listening more than you need to be talking. Because he kept saying, I'm a number 1 quarter, and I'm doing great. I'm great in pass defenses. But until Eberflus started saying, look, you need to pick the ball off, now the entire defense has taken off. So, yeah, hats off to Eberflus for getting that defense together and all the other things that, despite all the things that he was lacking. But I'm excited to see us play against Green Bay with this defense. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, let's bring up Jalen's Let's bring up Jalen's stats here.
There you go.
Yeah, man. What 31 solos, no sacks, 4 interceptions,
10 passes defended.
10 passes. Yep.
A pick six.
Did he get a pick six or he got tackled?
Yeah.
No, he got a
Okay.
pick six.
I think that was his first interception this year was that pick six. I believe.
Oh, right.
He
got
dropped a couple pick sixes too, but that's okay.
Yeah, he got a forced fumble.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, hey, congratulations to Jalen Johnson and Montez Sweat, both making a Pro Bowl. Awesome.
Well, you see the difference between him actually getting interceptions and how that translates to how people around the league see him. He's always been a good cover corner. He's always had passes defended. But now that he's getting the picks, all of a sudden everybody else is turning their head and they're paying more attention to him. So this is definitely good for him, and it makes our team stronger as well. So I hope he gets his money. The only thing I wanted to do was make sure the dude played the way the coaching staff was basically recommended. So let's give him his money if we can. I don't see why not.
Yeah,
the price went up. Yeah.
Yeah, this is just a reflection of what can be done when the surrounding members of the defense don't have to legitimately back up the line, because he can play like any of them can. They can play a lot more free or a lot more loose, and that first interception wasn't until after Sweat got here. So
yeah, you got a point.
Mm-hmm.
And Kendall Vailder is still over there giving up long touchdown passes in Detroit. So
his hours getting cut at Kroger's. He gets cut down to like 15 a week.
It's a great job. You're right, Jason. It didn't start until either Jason or Plank said it, until Sweat got here. I mean, really, this was a team that was not getting turnovers. I mean, they had opportunities for turnovers, but for some reason, those loose balls on the ground, they couldn't recover them, right? They knocked balls out of bounds that had been fumbled, and they had dropped a couple of picks, and it was hard to get to the quarterback without really sending a lot of people. I mean, one person that made that much of effect on the whole defense. Hold on, we got a comment out here. Okay, hold on. Oh, said Vilda has always been trash.
Hey, it seems like we don't miss Ngagwe anymore either, does it?
No,
I forgot he was even
he was on the team.
Right.
Yeah, because I was having trouble pronouncing his name, man.
Anik Ngagwe. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, sorry, what you say, Jason?
I was saying, I forgot he was even on the team. That real easy to slide him onto the IR too.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, they didn't even miss a beat when they put him on the IR. It's always a guarantee now that he's not being re-signed. I mean, he got his 1 year. And I guess what you saw really is why he only got 1 year deals. Most the last couple of places he's been. Right? Yeah. You saw a little flash, couple of flashes early on, then it kind of faded out. And it's time to go. Hey, I want to play something else that I want to see if I could pull this up. It may start in the middle. There we go.
And he's a leader, and we like a guy like that. And he's giving it all he got. I mean, the guy broke he broke 5 tackles. I don't know how to. Man, that man's he's amazing for sure. I ain't gonna lie. And he a great guy. He gets better every single day. So, you can't let a guy like that slip.
Let me start it over because it kind of started in.
Did you hear those "We Want Justin" chants?
Yeah, of course I heard them. I want Justin. We all want Justin. Let's go. You know what I mean? That's our guy. That guy make plays for sure. And he's a leader. And we like a guy like that. And he's giving it all he got. I mean, the guy broke 5 tackles. I don't know how to. Man, that man's he's amazing for sure. I ain't gonna lie. And he a great guy. He gets better every single day. So, you can't let a guy like that slip.
I'm sure that sounds great to Justin Fields when you're hearing your teammates endorse you like that, and and it's not nothing phony that they actually do. Because I will say, I believe the guys from the Bears really like Mitch Trubisky, but I don't think they thought he was the answer either. I think they was like, we like Mitch, but we need to get somebody.
Yeah, Bernard, I think that's one of the underrated things that they talk about with Justin Fields. First of all, his leadership capabilities and characteristics, they are unparalleled for what we're looking at from a Chicago Bears quarterback. He's the first guy in and the last guy to leave. He's Chicago ready. What does that mean? In Chicago, we're expecting our players to take a certain identity. We don't necessarily expect them to be the most gifted physically or whatever, but we expect them to be tough. We expect them to go out there and give 100%, which this guy does every week. So there's no way we're, that he doesn't match what the city expects him to be. He practices hard. He studies hard. Hopefully, with a new defensive coordinator, a new offensive coordinator, he's able to, get a lot easier plays because he struggles on the simple throws. And a lot of times that's what can elevate him in all his stats and all of that stuff. Not necessarily the hard throws, but the simple throws. He needs to, get them 100% or close to.
Okay. Yeah, that almost reminds me of guys who in basketball who are great three-point shooters and horrible free throw shooters. You're like, hold on, you're knocking down 20-foot jump J's, but then you get a free shot on a free throw and you shooting 45% or 60. That doesn't make sense, but that's kind of some stuff he has to work on. What you got, guy, on that?
I don't know. I mean, this is how it goes, man. It's human nature, man. I mean, we're all wired differently. What I like about Justin Fields' is presence in the locker room. And I remember when they were there, I don't know if you guys saw a video of him when they were going around asking who was going to win the national championship, who was going to win the game, go to the national championship. And they were getting on him. And it's not what they were saying. It's their physical interaction with each other, especially with Justin Fields. He's like one of the dudes. He is like solid. And anytime you get a guy like that who's still a young quarterback, but he is your leader, is willing to come up and be accountable, and you got some of his OGs coming up telling him you don't need to apologize, that tells you everything you need to know. And don't believe that Poles ain't down there looking around and hear stuff and see stuff too. So, I can dig it. I think it's great.
And what you got,
I think, I expect the teammates to kind of have that kind of sense of, Justin's our guy or Mitch is our guy or whoever it might be. I mean, if it's not, then there's bigger problems, obviously. Yeah. But I think the difference that we're seeing with Justin and what's going on there right now is like, and you can see it in, that was Brisker, right? Yeah. I mean, you can see it on Brisker's face is like, you can almost see that he truly means it because like what he's saying, he's like, and you can see it and you can see it on other guys. I mean, it's one thing to hear it on a radio, but now you got the social media aspect of it where these guys are actually getting video of them saying these things. And you can see it in their face that they're just like, wow, this guy is just, wow. You can just see it like just the way they turn their head or roll their eyes or do something. You can almost see the intent behind it. So, I mean, like I said, you can expect, you expect them to say it. But like this time around, I think you actually believe that they're saying it, what they're saying, and no doubt that Ryan and
Kevin Warren,
the president. Like I'm blanking on the president's name.
Warren.
And, they're seeing this, they're hearing it, and I text Beasley the other day, Sunday, because after I got home from work and I was able to watch the game, and I was just like, and I started hearing them chants out in the stands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I would love to be in that room with Poles right now, just to kind of get the sense of vibe that he had right there, on what that means. Now, granted, the fans aren't going to make the decision, or they're not going to be the tipping point of the, the whole thing, but you get a sense that, it means a lot more when the fans are backing him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, hey, Unapologetic Truth said Justin has to improve on reading zone defenses once he does that, he will be in the top 5. Yeah, he definitely does have to improve on reading zone defense. I mean, we can't hide from that point. Hold on, I pulled some up yesterday because yesterday we had a show yesterday, the 2-minute drill with Demarion Hampton and Christian Jones, and they actually evaluated Justin Fields' performance from a quarterback perspective, because both of them were former collegiate quarterbacks. And this is one of the things that we came up with, that Fields' QBR in man is 81.4,
which is crazy.
but his QBR in zone coverage is 26.4. And then there was another stat. Hold on, let me bring that up.
And that's kind of weird too. I would think it would probably be the other way around, because the separation in man, you know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of times when you're throwing a pass, and like a lot of times you don't know, like on the break, you're hoping that the defender, he's got a beat on the defender depending on how the shoulder is. Whereas a zone, you know that there are certain spots that they're covering, and you know that you can throw it. It's almost like a thing where you can throw the ball knowing that if you understand what the zone coverage is, it's not going to get picked off. That's cool.
But if you don't understand what the zone coverage is,
you get that.
You get a 26 QBR.
Yeah.
So
I'd be curious to see how that compares to Mitch, because Mitch always played great in man.
Yeah.
Zone is always a bit of, was always difficult because, you sit there and like anytime they played the Lions, he destroyed them. And you we all kept wondering, why does he keep playing man against, So, I mean, I'm curious to see what those numbers would be, those percentages would be.
That's interesting.
But, yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that he needs to get better in a lot of areas. There's, it's undeniable in that aspect. But I just think, do I think Getsy's going to be here next year? I'm 50-50 coin flip.
Yeah.
I mean, if he refuses gone, obviously I think Getsy's gone, but I think it's 50-50 coin flip at this point in time with if Eberflus is staying. But I definitely think that they need somebody else in that room to help if Getsy sticks, to help Getsy learn how to coach this kid and how to set up plays for him.
He need a tutor. He need a tutor.
Yeah.
Like he failing his offensive coordinator class.
So here's Justin Fields' stats through 16 games, 2,400 yards passing, average of 201 yards passing a game, 16 TDs, QB rating of 85.5. You can see it down at the below, the number of attempts, completions, rushing yards. That I'm okay with the rushing yards going down if we start adding them into the passing yards. Because once you start getting in the playoff, I know it's not a playoff year this year, but the more you start getting in the playoff, right, you start having those crucial moments where you got to make certain throws, and you don't have enough time sometimes to take off, right? So I'm okay with those rushing yards going down some this year. I know you missed 4 games, but that's fine, Hey, anything y'all want to comment as far as this before I take it off the screen?
Yeah, some of these stats are misleading, especially if you're looking at interceptions. There's at least 3 interceptions that he ended up throwing at the end of a half or the end of a game, knowing, that, those have a high degree of chance of not being successful. So not only did that throw his QBR down, but that also made his interception number look like he's just out there being picked. And that's really not the truth. So that's part of the decision-making criteria that happens for offensive coordinators as well.
But something else I'd like to see too, and I see Komet doing. If he uses Komet a little more, especially in the zone, he'll be much better. But something else that I liked that was pretty cool, didn't even have to do with Komet. It had to do with Tanya. Tanya was smart enough. Remember the one play we got there? He was coming in. Tanya was going, and he broke off his route, and he sat, and it was just like right there. I would like to see more of it, but Justin has to communicate a little more in that respect. And I think that if he uses tight ends or his backs a little more, some stuff, I think his QBR and zones will be better. It's just that when he throws a little further, it's got a couple issues.
Well, in my opinion, Tanya still hasn't redeemed himself from dropping that 70-yard touchdown a couple weeks ago. He can redeem himself if he makes a good showing against his old team, Green Bay. If he shrinks, I don't want to see that dude again either.
Good OC will show Fields how to attack zone. That is 100% true. More on the slot. I was talking about that yesterday. More on the slot. Man, you know what? We go through this whole draft thing in my head. I had this like little short daydream that we got Marvin Harrison Jr. We put DJ in the slot, and the type of mismatches that they put on defenses, man, was stupid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He played slot a lot in the game against Atlanta.
He did. He was eating.
Yeah.
He was eating, man.
Okay. So, hey, now we into the rival week with Green Bay. And hey, I got one more thing I want to bring on the screen, and then we'll dive into this Green Bay rivalry. Just wanted to do a little something different this time. Man. So we're looking at a recap of the season, man. I know a lot of us that Green Bay game at the beginning of the season was kind of shocking. And it wasn't shocking because of the score for me. It's just how unprepared the team looked all around, right? I mean, they didn't look prepared either on defense or offense, right? You're like, man, what is going on? And you know what? And I think a lot of us was kind of suspicious anyway, because in that last preseason game, we was like, why are these guys sitting when they didn't even look good in the second preseason game?
Yeah, exactly. And that's where the attrition was, man. I think guys kind of tricked off in the preseason. They weren't playing enough, and it wasn't that cohesion. And it didn't seem like they even got on a little bit of a stride until they played Washington. And then after that, they turned around and lost to Minnesota here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so even though the Bears started 0-4, when you look at those first three games, in my opinion, the only one who really just beat them, just outright killed them, was that first game. It's just like they just wasn't prepared. Was actually KC.
Yeah.
And but Denver game, we actually should have had that game. And it looked like we was turning the corner in that Washington game. Then we had that injury in the Vikings game.
And in the Lions game, we should have won.
Yeah.
So that's 3 more wins. So we look at it like a 11-6 at the end of the season if we won Sunday, technically. But we lost those games for a reason.
Mm-hmm. And we was outmatching the Chargers game. I think that was one of the games Bajan was playing. Offensively, we were, and defensively, we weren't really getting that many stops in that game either.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It made the Chargers look like they was actually a viable team in that game. But I think they won about 6 games maybe this year.
1, 2, 3, yeah.
Yeah,
they gave up a 63 burger a couple of weeks ago. That's all I know.
Then, yeah.
I don't know about you, Bernard, but I'm upset this week already. There was an Aaron Rodgers interview done where he started talking about how bad they beat the Green Bay Packers, own the Bears, and he was referring to the Green Bay Packers as we. And we do this. You know? And I'm like, do you not realize you don't play for the Packers? You play for the Jets. You are clearly at 40 years old experiencing some kind of cognitive decline. You think you're a Green Bay Packer now. That's a doggone shame. And he's talking about, all of the things that they do to the Bears or whatever. And I'm like, ain't you the same guy that thought you was going to come back from an ACL in a week and a half? And now it's the end of the season and you still ain't back? It looks like it's the people that originally diagnosed that was a little bit more accurate than you. So I'm just tired of him jumping on the bandwagon. I want to see the Bears beat down Green Bay, and he's the first one I want to interview after that game is over.
He was drinking Jack Daniels and smoking weed up in the cave for about a week or so. It's going to take him. And then he got hurt in the first series with the Jets, did he not?
By an expert.
Yeah, but here's the deal. That karma gonna hit him next year when he get out there and realize, brother, you ain't in Green Bay no more. You're gonna be on your backside quite a bit next year if you decide to come back.
Mm-hmm. So I you know what? I was kind of happy to hear Justin Fields talk a little smack this week.
Was that real? I never heard.
You know what? It actually was real. Yeah, I saw the press conference of it where he actually said, "Hey, they don't do nothing but there's nothing to do there other than go to Packers game.
But you know what? The girl Fox, it was one that
Let's see if I
I
can
want to
find
say
it.
Fox. She came on and interviewed him. He was like, you know what? Hey, I'm just poking fun at them, you know, because a lot of my teammates went there. A lot of ex-players and players who were here used to play with him. He said it's just all in fun. They're making a bigger deal out of it, but I know he believed that though, and he'll understand that after a while being here, he gonna realize, yeah, I said it. Regardless, you know, I do not like Green Bay. Hey, Deidre.
Hey, what's up, Deidre?
No, I just said hey because her brother's a Packers fan. She already checked out the Packers, so I ain't scared. Give me all the
It
smoke.
sounds like she's a Packers fan too. Then
Yeah, but you know what? I'm gonna talk all this trash right here, but I don't want no smoke because, like I said, she got hands.
You know what? In the football pool, Deidre was doing good, man, at first, man, but she had to change her strategy. She was just picking against the Bears, and then when the Bears started winning, she went into that mode like I think she was like 7. She was 6-1, and now she's 8-8.
Funny how that happened.
Yeah, change the strategy. Hey, but anyway, going into this game, Jordan Love is interesting. Jordan Love right now, if you're talking about total pass yards, he's ranked 10th in the NFL with 3,843 yards. He actually has an opportunity, if we don't play good defense on him and these other guys don't do nothing, he's actually third in passing touchdowns with 30. Dak Prescott is at number 1 and Brock Purdy is at number 2. What else they got going on? So I just wanted to put that out there that, you know, he looked okay the first game and he kind of had up and down games, but we need to go put it on him, man, to make them three think that maybe they may need a quarterback.
Maybe.
Well, a lot of times when you put quarterbacks on there, I've never seen a quarterback throw a touchdown pass from his back. So if we can get him down, get a couple sacks on him, I think that bodes well. He's a lot better than we gave him credit for. However, I don't think he's as good as he looked the first game against the Steelers. So I'm hoping at some point we do some kind of, you know, equalization and figure out exactly who he is. I'm a bit concerned about Green Bay's rushing game. Aaron Jones he's a horse, man. He's hard to bring down. What is he weighing? 250, something like that. So I'd like to see us defensively stop him, stop the run. I'm not really impressed by Green Bay's wide receivers. So I think we may have an advantage there, but you know, this is a rivalry game. Who knows how it's going to come out? That's just kind of.
Well, I don't think there's any question. You know, obviously we don't know, but I mean, Green Bay is coming to show up and play because they got to make this win and get in for them for the playoffs. You know, they might even have a little bit of extra chip on their shoulder after what happened to them last year at Detroit. But I mean, as long as I think the Bears show up to play the game that they've been playing, you know, I'm not necessarily saying, oh, you know, it's our rivalry. We got to keep them out of, you know, it's our chance to. I think they just got to keep doing what they've been doing and prove that they're should be sticking together as a team as much as possible. And I think if they just play the game that they've been playing the last few weeks, I mean, shit, ever since Sweat got here, you know, playing free, playing loose, getting the pressure on Love, making him make dumb decisions, you know, pick that ball off, get him on the ground a couple times, you know, could be a very exciting game to watch.
Yeah, we owed them a few eliminations because, you know, we go back to, I guess that was a 2009 or 10 season. When the Bears went to the conference finals where we kind of conceded that last game to them by not playing any of our starters. And when you look at that game, it would have looked like it didn't mean anything because even without us playing any of our starters, I think that was Aaron Rodgers, like maybe second year starting or something like that, or maybe first year. They still it was a real low scoring game. It might have been like 13-9 or something. So they even struggled against our starters, which was so shocking that when we met them in the the conference championship that we ended up losing that game, and that's the only Super Bowl they've won. And I want to say, if you go back to Lovey's first playoff appearance with the Bears, they lost to Green Bay, I believe, in the first round, something to that effect. So they didn't kind of got us a few times on some of the stuff like that when it comes to playoffs. So we owe them one of those. We gonna be in the way. We gonna be the hater that block you.
I mean, I think it's if they could put a good stamp on this and win this game, I think it's just a good measuring stick of good let the NFL know, hey, we're coming, we're getting this together, we're coming, and like you said earlier, like teams are afraid to play this defense right now. And let's make them continue to be afraid.
Yeah, great point. Yeah, this team has gotten 20 interceptions and 7 games? I mean something ridiculous. I mean, you only could imagine, like, if this was a whole season, if you were still getting these kind of opportunities. I mean, this team could have finished, even with the drops. You could have been over to about 25 to 27 interceptions in the season. I mean, that's incredible.
I mean, I think this is, the team we're looking at now, both offensive, defensively, I think this is the team we were coming into this season expect to be playing by mid-season. Like they're a whole half a season behind of where they should have been. Maybe that's just the addition of Montez Sweat. I can't really say for sure, or not really knowing. It's hard to put a finger on what happened that first half of the season. I mean, obviously Sweat's an easy person to highlight on that roster and say, hey, everything kind of changed after he got here. But whether or not there was just that much friction between Eberflus and Allen, and the former defensive coordinator, or it's hard to really say. But offensively, defensively, like I said, like this is where we should have been in by midseason, and just got to keep it rolling right now.
Okay. Hey, what are y'all looking for out of Justin Fields in this game against the Packers?
A lot more what he did last week. Just continuing that, basically. I saw a lot of great O-line play, keeping that pocket clean, and I think that's just the key to Justin's future. I just think that's the key right there, is just keep that pass rush down, and give him time to survey. And we've seen it. When he's got that time to throw the ball, he just picks them apart. I've seen Justin make so many great throws so far this year. I heard you guys talking about that pass he threw to DJ in the corner. Oh, that was beautiful. I'd just like to see a lot more of that. And Herbert, keep doing what you're doing. Definitely keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. What you have, Plank?
Yeah, I'm hoping that Justin Fields plays within himself a little bit more. It's a lot at stake for him. He definitely wants to do well, but at the same time, I'd like to see him go out here and quarterback the team relative to what he did last week. He looked 100% in control, didn't get flustered about anything, didn't get too high or too low, no matter what happened in the game. And I think that's a good look for him. So I'm hoping, he's not letting all of the cameras and the moment and all of that stuff overcome him, that he can still play within his own head and just ball out, because he's been doing a great job. And I hope that the Bears are going to continue to let him develop in the Chicago uniform, but we'll see.
Okay.
Well, Justin Fields, like I said, the thing is that he has to do with every team. He has to basically manage the clock correctly, as far as just make sure that he doesn't make stupid mistakes, because Green Bay is, I think they're 11th in pass defense, but here's another interesting thing. Green Bay is actually 28th in run defense. So give them the ball, do what we do, run the ball. You should be able to get off any pass that you want to. But I think that and manage the clock, keep the ball out their hands, wear them down, and get that dub.
Yeah, that's what I say. Come out running the ball, take advantage of them, how, you know, they're not good against the run. And Christian had brought up yesterday that one of the things to do when your quarterback struggle and throwing in zone defenses is running the ball, right? Because running is one of the best friends of passing game. So Khalil Herbert had a real good game last week. I like to see him, you know, get more carries. And what's the other guy's name? I can't even think his name right now.
Roshan?
No, from the Panthers. The guy from the Panthers.
Deontay
Foreman. Yeah, I'd like to see him get more engaged down the stretch. I mean, that angry run to me was when he got on that video. That was one of the best runs this year by the Chicago Bears, and I would rank it in one of the best runs, you know, probably top 5 by a running back this year, when he just kind of ran over a couple of guys and just knocked the guy down out of bounds. Like, hey, just get out of my way, even though I'm out of bounds, right?
He's been inactive the last 2 weeks, so I'm not even sure if he's really even still a member of his team right now. Because
he's been a healthy scratch for
something.
Yeah.
Who was
it?
This
2 weeks ago was some kind of personal business. I didn't hear what it was last week.
Yeah.
Who was it that you were talking about? That's a scratch.
Deontay Foreman. You've been like a healthy scratch.
Yeah, because A.J. Dillon is actually leading the team in rushing, which is interesting. The funny part
about Green Bay.
Yeah, the funny part about it, with like 120, maybe 120 fewer carries, Justin Fields actually got more yards than he does. He's got like 681 yards rushing. Let's see, Dillon. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Yep, A.J. Dillon, 613 yards. He's got 613 yards, A.J. Dillon. Aaron Jones is 545. But that's interesting. He's only averaging 3-point yards a game, like average. If we can neutralize him and force Jordan Love to throw the ball, I like our secondary. And we get that pass rush. I'm gonna tell you right now, I hope and pray that Green Bay going with the mindset thinking that they're gonna play the same Bears team they saw in week 1. Because it ain't gonna be nothing nice if they do. You're gonna get a rude awakening.
You know, that's interesting. You reading those pass and rushing yards. That I was looking at the rushing stacks for NFL running backs a few days ago, and even through 16 games, there are only 5 running backs in the NFL that has 1,000 yards. And
is that many?
No, I'm sorry, it was 4. It was 4. The 5th person that probably is going to get 1,000 is going to be David Montgomery, but he currently was in the 900s and he was listed at number 5.
Right. I'm just looking.
Yeah, and so
McCaffrey, Kyren Williams, James Cook. There's 3. Oh, wait a minute. What happened there? 3 is 6 of them. McCaffrey, Kyren Williams, James Cook, DeAndre Swift, Derrick Henry, and Rasheed Mostert. They all got 1,000 yards. David is like right under them.
All right, under them, right? Well, he's like 973 or something.
He's like 975.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Well, you know, the metric of 1,000 yards, it isn't the linchpin that it used to be anymore.
Used to be, you're right. You're
trying to look at 17 games. What is that, 63 yards a game? Get you 1,000 yards a season? Okay.
And you also take into account that most every team is running some kind of tandem.
Yes.
That's true.
Even the Bears, they were running 3 running backs there for a minute. You know, so I mean, then you throw Justin in the mix. That's 4 rushers right there.
That's 4 rushers.
So, when you got that kind of tandem, I mean, any of those guys with 1,000 yards, they're probably, and I missed all the names that you just read off, but I mean, how, they're the main guy. They do most of the heavy lifting as it is. So, I mean, I think, that 1,000 yards where, so yeah, like you said, 63 yards a game in 17 games, but, I think that number is just going to start. That amount of people that are going to start doing that is just dwindling quickly. With the lack of not lack of importance, but the way that the league just doesn't use the running back anymore for that particular aspect of it.
Yeah. You're gonna just start seeing them listed as how many total yards that, because you're starting to see it now. How many total yards that this person had. But hey, you know what? As tradition, man, whenever this game come up, man, we gotta play an oldie but
and on Twitch TV. But I just want to recap our scores real quick. We have guys
The Bears winning 24-20. Plank has the Bears winning 25-23. Tammy has the Bears winning 33-30. I have the Bears winning 38-33. Jay has the Bears losing 38-17. And Mike.
Hey, look, Jay, you got me going into witness protection, Jay. I don't even
see,
know.
and you know what? I take it from Will.
Oh, who is Jay? Who is Jay? Yeah.
You know my cousin Peebo.
Yeah, hey, I don't know no Jay. I don't know no Jay.
Hey, so Jay is Jay this for the first time. I think Jay, we haven't got to the picking, but Jay actually picked the Bears for the first time since we've been doing this show in 4 years, and that's what that was about. Jay was the only one that picked the Packers the first year. That's always funny, that little clip there, man. Let's go for a little
2 for 2.
2 for 2.
2 for 2.
Okay. Who's y'all top 2 teams and the bottom 2 teams?
Cowgirls and the doggone 49ers, the top 2. Bottom 2, I gotta go with New England and Carolina. No, New England. I say New England, Carolina. Because I think New England didn't New England lose this week?
I gotta go with Baltimore and San Francisco. Bottom 2. Arizona, I'm still putting them in the bottom 2, even though they ended up winning the game last week. Yeah. And I'm not gonna put Carolina in the bottom 2. I'm happy of everything that Carolina has done playing this year. They might be my top team. Forget all of that bottom 2. You want all of those steps. Great. Carolina is the greatest team in the NFL. Everybody get off of them.
Hey, I'm actually gonna go AFC right now, and it's gonna be a little odd. I'm gonna say my top 2, believe it or not, is the Ravens and the Browns. I think the Browns are trending upward in an unbelievable way. Bottom 2 is gonna be the Patriots and the Panthers. Okay. Who you got, Jason?
Yeah, it's hard to pick not to pick Baltimore because they're just on a roll. Cleveland's been on a really good roll, so if we're doing top 2, it's Baltimore and Cleveland 1A, 1B for the AFC for sure. And San Francisco obviously is top of the cream of the crop right there, and then New England and Carolina are the bottom. And thank you, Carolina.
Okay. Right.
When you start talking about Baltimore and Cleveland, just from a historical standpoint, that's going to be a good game because Cleveland is not afraid of Baltimore. These are teams that really can't stand each other, so it makes so much better of a game to watch. I'm actually looking forward to that. And if you throw in the fact that Cleveland is now being led by Baltimore's old Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Right. That's crazy.
I think the NFL just, sometimes they write these movies and it just comes out to play. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, they're writing some pretty good scripts in recent years.
Yeah, they have.
Wow. That's crazy.
So, hey, what about y'all game of the week? I mean, we may have to have 2 games of the week because this game probably – this is my game of the week, but I have another game of the week. Is going to be the Bills and the Dolphins because I believe the Bills I think need this game for the playoffs.
And the winner, I think they won the division too, right? Is it the winner either want to take call or go home or something like that? Let me see. I saw something there, but I know one of them. I think
the Bills got to win for sure to win to get in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they got to win to get in.
If Buffalo wins, they'd be tied. Because Miami is 11-5 and Buffalo is 10-6, so they both will be.
Hold on a second. I just saw that too.
Hey, Bernard, I'm looking at it. I'm already called the game of the week is tomorrow, Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Every time those two teams play, it's a bloodbath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to go with Pittsburgh and Baltimore myself. I was just looking at the slate of the teams. I mean, other than most of the games playoff. With any playoff things, it's win and get in, but it's not like that team that needs to get in is necessarily playing a team that really can stop them from being there. So, like Pittsburgh and Baltimore, Buffalo and Miami is definitely a high end game right there for Buffalo and what it means for there. And I mean, obviously the Bears and the Packers. The Bears, they're not playing for anything except for themselves. So I feel like this could be a big game, just a good game in general, just because of what the coaster that the Bears have been on. The Packers being and it's just Bears Packers obviously, but that Baltimore Pittsburgh game could be an interesting game to watch too, for sure.
Okay.
Is Lamar Jackson playing? I don't know if he's playing or not.
No, he's not playing.
Oh, that takes away from the rivalry a little bit.
Yeah, well, if that's the case, then I definitely got to slide to it. Either be the Bears Packers or Buffalo Miami for sure. Then
And with the Buffalo Miami, they were saying that week 17, like last week that they lost, it means this week against the Bills it'll decide the AFC. Both of them could still lose and pick up a wild card spot, but however, the Steelers need to win and get some help from other teams. So it's gonna be fun. This is it's gonna be
with the Bears this week. We finally got to beat Green Bay because they took our girlfriend probably about 30 years ago, and we used to like her. We used to hold hands with her. Then Green Bay showed up in a nice car. She got in the car with them, and she been with them. We need our girlfriend back. She's a little bit old and all that other stuff, but I don't care, man. We gotta get our pride back or something.
Listen, they took every girlfriend we had. We take them to the restaurant, dance, wine them and dine them, and as we go outside waiting for the doggone car to come through, they in the car and they snatch the girl, put in the car. So we just spent all this money on dinner and they leave with them.
Hey, just like Jason always say, Green Bay been living rent free in our heads for some years now.
Time for us to collect some of that rent.
I told you I got to be able to go outside. I'm looking forward to about 6:30 on Sunday night, going outside and just hollering at neighbors, man. Because every time the Green Bay Packers beat the Bears, they somehow just end up walking their dog 12 times in a row in front of my house. playing ding dong ditch, and I'm like, all right, man, y'all beat us, okay. So I'm about tired I want some payback myself. So let's see how it goes.
Let's make sure that I am a very good proponent of animals because I love animals very much, but I'd feed them some food and put some X-Lax in it.
Oh.
They say they ringing your doorbell and running, and I'm just walking past the
Yeah.
Did you see the game with Green Bay and the Bears?
Yeah, I know, man. And that's the one. I'm glad I'm out on the South Side because we don't have that many people like that, except Deidre and her brother.
I got a couple of co-workers like that too, man. I just be so happy because over the years they didn't walk past me. I may not see them all year, right? We work on the same floor and I barely see them unless in the men's room or something. And all of a sudden, Packers game, they got on their jacket and they walk past. Hey, Bernard, how's it going? And I'm like, hey, I ain't seen you since the last game. And I'm not gonna see you for 9 more months.
Man, this one chick one time came to a bar on the South Side. It was for a Bears game. It was everybody had Bears gear on. She come with a Green Bay jersey. Was looking at, I don't know where y'all looking at me. Y'all gonna get beat. And this one girl was like, well, you know what? You ain't Green Bay. She might get beat.
Hey, we got one score that just came in 37-20 for the Bears. Hey, y'all got any scores? Y'all got any scores yet, or y'all need a little minute to think about it?
30-24 Bears.
I think I said 33-24 Bears.
30-24 Bears?
Okay, 33-24, I think I had.
33-24. Come on, we just got somebody. Hey, what's up, Sam?
What up, King? What's up, fellas?
How you doing,
How y'all
bro?
living?
All right.
Hopefully not
So we get the time
retrospection
difference
hands.
from you.
I
Right.
keep telling y'all, all my friends, we start looking alike after a while. I'm like, is that me or what?
Hey,
got
long
clone.
we look good.
Two
Long
B's.
we
Bald
look
and
good.
be
We're
spectacled.
above ground.
Y'all two
Right.
B's. Y'all got the two B's. Y'all bald and be spectacled.
Hey,
And Bernard. So that means 2.5 B's.
What you got on this week, Packers week, Jim? What you think's gonna happen?
I got the Bears upsetting the Packers 21-17.
21-17. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got the Bears beating the Packers 34-20.
Okay.
I got the Bears beating the Packers 32-28.
32-28. Okay. Hey, let me see if I can see some of the Facebook scores that we have on the Bears banner page.
And notice I didn't say the Bears 2-0 this time, so you know.
It's like the Packers 9, 17 mini dickers 47. Remember the super fans? They used to kill me, man. The mini dickers who play the teams and win. Oh,
So wait,
man.
so is this our chance to win the North and never give it back?
Yeah, this is our chance. Hey, Jimmy Red has the Bears winning 27-20. Lala has the Bears winning 21-10. Jay has the Bears winning 30-24. We don't have to boo Jay this time because Jay bailed out on us on the Atlanta game at the last minute.
I'm gonna still boo him. I don't care. Boo.
Gigi has the Bears winning 27-17. Claude has the Bears winning 32-16. Looking at the
Gigi we all had the Bears winning, so Gigi is Bears fan, tried and true. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. Come on, what we got here? No, man, this is a new one. We actually have 46 votes, and 43 people out of the 46 picked the Bears.
Who picked Green Bay?
Tail.
Deidre gotta be one of them.
No, man, bro, you gonna have a fight, man. Yep.
She picked the Bears?
Yep, she picked the Bears.
Hey, Deidre, how you doing? You know I love you, girl. You just
I'm talking about Deidre. I'm saying you gonna have a fight. You.
No, she
got
no,
more.
It ain't gonna be a fight. It's gonna be two hits. Her hitting me and me hitting the pavement.
Yeah,
That's it.
Kathy picked the Bears, Packers. Kathy, Mark, and Jerome. Deidre looked like she flipped. She jumped ship.
Hold on.
She jumped ship, but she didn't vote yet.
Hold on a second. You know what? I can't believe that. The Kathy, I know Kathy.
The Kathy, you know.
Okay, you know now I'm mad now.
You about to call out?
Yeah, she probably gonna answer the phone because she know I know now. She ain't gonna answer the phone. Smart cookie. She's smart. I'll let her slide. You see, my hand was shaking when the call was like I'm like,
hey, so as we go into this rival week, I know that since they got Brad Favre and Aaron Rodgers, I mean, the only time we really won this rivalry was that sting when Lovey was here, right? When we kind of dominated him the Lovey years. Matter of fact, the only time they did beat us was that year when they won that Super Bowl. Other than that, Lovey pretty much beat them all the time. But other than that, man, they've been owning this rivalry for the last 30 years. You know?
Oh yeah. Lovey closed the gap a little bit, then they spread it back out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But as Sam Cooke said, it's been a long time coming, but I know a change will come. It's coming back.
Yeah, hopefully you're talking about this year.
Right.
Yeah. I gotta start. You gotta crawl before you can walk, right?
Right. So hey, I expect Justin Fields, like we mentioned earlier, to have a good game. And also I would suspect that we were talking about it before we started. I don't think we're going to hear anything as far as quarterback into the draft, but I would expect by Monday, was it Monday or Tuesday? Probably by Tuesday. Tuesday, you'll probably get a press conference saying something.
Yeah.
I don't know what that press conference is going to be saying, but I would think it's by Tuesday.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm hoping our ex-Packers actually show up. We got Patrick, who is always a little bit suspect out there anyway. This might be his last game as a Bear anyway. Tanya, who I've already told you I'm upset with. But Mercedes Lewis, I'm expecting him to show up as he has all year. So he's actually done a good job of himself. So hopefully he does it against his old team as well.
Okay. Hey, thank you, Unapologetic Truth, for the actual record. The rivalry record is 106-95 and 6 ties. So, you know, when you really think about it, the Bears dominated Green Bay in the 80s. They really dominated them in the 80s, and it was kind of split in the early 90s until Brett Favre kind of got his groove, and that's when it kind of got one-sided. But, you know, so I guess if you see that, it's not that, what they got us about 11 games?
Yep.
Yeah. Isn't that the oldest rivalry in NFL?
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah. Has to be, yeah.
No, the oldest would have been the Bears and the Cardinals, wouldn't it? Cardinals were playing in Chicago at the same time as the Bears.
One of the most famous historic rivals, Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears, dating all the way back to 1921. Let's see, the longest American football rivalry, Packers and Bears.
Yeah, because you know, actually, the Bears was in Decatur.
Yeah, Decatur Steelers.
Decatur Steelers, right? And the and the Cardinals was here. Yeah, so yeah, this is, man, we got to take back hold of this. If Flus want to prove anything, you got to at least win this game closing out.
Yeah,
and I don't know how much it's gonna weigh in it, but it may weigh a whole lot because the fans, it means a lot to the fans, and I know sometimes with the players. If you was here last year, this rival should have meant something to you, especially when Aaron Rodgers just outright saying, "I own y'all." You know.
Yeah.
Okay,
but he wasn't wrong. I'm looking forward to somebody on the Bears to go over to Green Bay's locker room and say, "We're about to hit y'all in the mouth. Come on out, let's see what happens."
Man, I'm gonna find me some
fired up. So
I'm gonna find me some strong cartoon characters when you go back in their cave, find that big boulder and just shut the door to the boulder. I mean the cave so he stays in there. Hey man, wishful thinking, man. I'm just saying, a dude to go up in the cave for 2 weeks, he's probably still scrubbing and still smelly.
Okay. Hey, I'd like to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. Hey, make sure you hit the subscribe button to Bears Brand if you're watching on YouTube. Actually, tonight we're on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch TV. Hey, Zen, what you have?
Hey, I just want to tell you guys you've been doing a show. Keep doing what you're doing. It's nice to have some common talk about football, talking about the Bears. We on the uptick. You know, I had the Bears doing much better than last year, and they have so far. So, again, it's a process. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So we'll get there. And if we get rid of Justin Fields, I hope they take the quarterback from LSU.
Okay. Hey, what's y'all thoughts on that game coming up? That's Monday, right? Is that Monday?
Washington and Michigan.
I'm staying Midwest, man. I'm going Big Ten. I know Texas is not in the SEC yet. They'll be in there next year, but I'm a SEC hater, so I'm staying with the Big Ten all the way.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going with Washington in this game. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Washington. I know Washington, Michigan is a physical team, but I still say if Alabama had any type of competent quarterback play, they would have killed Michigan. And I think with Washington receiving core, they're gonna put it on Michigan.
Hey, you know what though, man? I like the quarterback, but I can't go with a team with a quarterback that's just 5 letters away, man. I hate to say this because it hurts my feelings, but go blue. Go blue.
That
you know what? Michigan's got a good defense, especially their defensive backfield. They're a lot stronger than a lot of people are getting credit for. And it doesn't look like Washington has much of a running game. So I'm thinking that Michigan is going to be able to play some bully ball on offense and push Washington around. It didn't look like they were really making any stops against Texas. So I'm excited about watching this game. My son wants to go to Michigan, so he's geeked up. So that just makes me that much more excited as well.
Jay probably somewhere in therapy right now because he probably just go Washington in spite.
Jay's still calling, still mad at some of the calls that happened when Michigan beat Ohio State.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, man, stop that.
Yeah, therapy. He need therapy, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know. Mo is happy because Mo
is happy.
He's a big Michigan fan. He always troll Jay about Michigan and the Ohio State rivalry. So
Ohio State was didn't they lose their bowl game to who? Georgia State? Who did they lose their bowl game to? They lost their bowl game.
Sisters of the Poor, something like that.
Right.
I think they lost to Missouri.
The Kiwanis Club.
Yeah,
Fourth
yeah.
and
All their guys, half their team didn't even play. They got like half their team. They starters are in the transfer portal.
Right. You know what? And not trying to even get off the subject or anything, but the thing that kind of disturbs me was, man, that whole Florida State thing, man. It's like you guys are undefeated. You don't get the bowl thing, and guys get mad and they all transfer out. And it's like, I know it's a choice, man, but it's like now that everything is a business with NILs and all types of flexibility, it's like I kind of got heart for people that have stayed at 4 years for the whole course. Y'all was 12. Well, they 12-1 because they got blown out, but they got blown out because all their major players are gone. But what does that say, man? It's like this.
Well, but think about it this way, man. The NCAA has never been for the players. The NCAA has always been for the institutions. They've been making money off these kids for years, and and they even slid in the rule change where it wasn't 4 years guaranteed. It was 1 year guaranteed, 3 years renewable. And, a lot of times, man, they get these top recruits. They don't play them, and they just end these kids' careers, man. So, I mean, the chickens have come home to roost, just like in the NFL and professional sports, where these players get an opportunity to make some money, better themselves and things like that. So there's going to be some transition, of course, with attitudes. There's going to be some transitions with how you got to approach coaching and things like that. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's long overdue. There's a backlash. And I'm not saying college football or college sports is in a good place, but it's moving towards some equitability for the players and the institutions where everybody can benefit and these kids can actually come out with something. Because a lot of these kids, man, even some of the ones with big names aren't going to make it to the pros, right?
Right.
And then the pros is a whole nother set of politics and things like that. So I'm not upset with these kids being able to at least give themselves an opportunity. I hope they take this opportunity, though, and the smart ones major in something other than basket weaving. And,
like economics or finance.
Yeah, and then you utilize the money that you get to maybe start a business or make yourself more profitable in a different way instead of having to, destroy your body or whatever, sacrifice your body. So, there's going to be some opportunities, some positives that come out here. It's just going to take a little while to filter through.
Yeah, great point, Zam, because,
that's important.
At least start getting rid of some of those days where you would have had on a Michigan, for example, you got Drew Henson, Brian Greasy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Drew Henson, Brian Greasy, and Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You got all these guys, and they're waiting for one guy to graduate, right? Just so they could play. And it depends on who was in the pipeline first. And then you get a guy, for example, like a Tom Brady, that he has to wait till all these guys graduate. So by the time he finally is able to play, he's a senior. You know what I'm saying? He's a senior, right? And then they telling you wait, you can't transfer for him. So now those days are starting to get with guys like, hold on, man, you made me feel like I was gonna be the guy, and it's 2 or 3 5 stars in front of me. I'm gonna go ahead and go to that school that actually I know need me as quarterback, right? So I'm transferring.
That's true.
Yeah. It makes some kind of equitable. So once you start expanding to 12 teams next year, I think you'll start seeing that is maybe you have a little bit more balance. I don't know, but
Dude, these college coaches in the past, man, so often than not, because the way the system is rigged, I mean, they'll give a kid a scholarship just to keep from having to play against that kid, or that kid was being sought after by a
Yeah,
competitor and things like
That's a
that.
good point.
it's a
You
great
look
point.
at a lot of these kids, man, if you go back and you check some of these uh, low Division I teams, the D2 teams, even three and NIAA,
Yeah,
you know,
NAIA.
NAIA. You check that, man. You can see a lot of Division I kids in those sports, especially
Yeah,
things other than
Mhm.
football, man. You see a lot of them there trying to scrape out a career and go forward. Well, once you drop down, you ain't got a chance to make it anywhere. I mean, I think Deion Sanders, like him or hate him, he has done a lot for the college football arena because, giving a little more attention back to the HBCUs was great because, we've had some great players come out of HBCUs.
right.
That kind of tapered off for a while. Now he's bringing these top recruits in, and it almost looks like, if they choose to go to a HBCU other than the major schools when they're a top recruit, they kind of getting blackballed too. So, I
Yeah,
mean, it's a racket, man. You should be looking for the best players, the players that are hungry. Kids should be given an opportunity if they prove themselves, and you sell it on the field. But now, college sports, just like the pros, man, it's all propaganda, it's all media hype. I tell kids, like in basketball, man, if you score 10 points and have a few rebounds, a few assists, your name's always going to be in the paper. And the quicker you can get on varsity and get a stat line, people automatically assume you can play, when the reality of it is players jump over each other every year for the most part because of the work ethic, because of the knowledge of the game, trying to learn the game and really learn how to play and work on their craft. They jump over each other all the time. But if you don't have your name in paper, you don't have that propaganda out there. So when you get Googled, you popping up, your opportunities are limited, right?
Mhm.
And you take a state like Illinois, right? All our major institutions are in Chicago. You either go into or Champaign. You go to U of I. If you don't go to U of I for football, your chances are slim to none. Northwestern, maybe, but definitely U of I is the only platform we had to really, really get opportunity to get recruited to the pros.
that's true.
Because you ain't getting that chance at Western, Eastern, Southern, Northern. You're not getting an opportunity from those institutions to go to the next level. So, and I mean, none of the other schools, around are going to give you the opportunity either. So it's very limited. So you got to think about your recruitment area, your radius, because again, it's about filling seats as well. If you go
Yeah,
to a Midwest school like Michigan, 3 hours away, 4 hours away, or, some of the other Big Ten schools, we still got a little draw from Chicago and things like that, where, that those politics of boosters and things like that may be able to get you on the field. Dude, it's a racket and it's systematic. So I'm
Yeah,
glad these kids making a little money. I'm glad,
yeah.
yeah.
that they have an opportunity to feed themselves, clothe themselves, a little bit better, and get taken care of. So I think that's a good thing.
Okay, so
It's
hey,
virtually
I thank
possible.
everybody who tune in to Bears Banner tonight. We're gonna try to wrap up in the next few seconds, but I do want to make an announcement before I forget. Bears Banner is going to close the season out right, and we're gonna have a viewing party on Sunday at 10436 Southwestern, watching the Bears Packers game there, and we're gonna do the post game broadcast live at the location. So we'll probably be getting there a little bit around maybe around 2:30. And all the people who are in the Bears Banner talk show group, you get a chance to meet some of the people in person. Then we can all choke Mark Chin out, Just kidding. But anyway, there's a
It's all love, Mark. Okay.
so there's actually going to be a buffet, and there's a donation that's being asked for the buffet that if you choose to, hey, just donate a little money or whatever. They have a price on it, but you'll see when you get there. Then also I just have some Bears Banner talk show shirts there for those who would like to just get some. Then I think by then we'll know who won the football pool. Hey, anything else before we close out for the night? No, nothing else? All right. So until Sunday, we'll see everybody. Peace.